Sorry, guys, I'm sitting here chatting with you and playing on my hot glue gun, and I didn't even realize it was 8:30. Good morning, everybody. Yes, I'm in my home. I can breathe. Good morning. Um, wow. So Fair Week is in full swing. It's crazy, crazy, crazy. But I am meeting the most incredible people. I love it. The more they come and talk to me, the more they stop and look at the stuff, and I just love it. Good morning, Raylene and Margaret and Karen, and who am I missing? That's it for right now. Oh, good morning, everybody. So, yep, that's it on the chat. So much to tell you. So Fritzy and I got to the fair at 7:30 or 8 o'clock, somewhere around there yesterday. Good morning, Debbie. And let me just tell you, he is the best dog ever. Like ever. He is the best dog. He was there from when we got there in the morning. Good morning, Amber. Good morning, Louise. All the way until 10 o'clock last night. He didn't whine. He didn't fuss. He was the best dog. I had set up a little play area for him behind, like we have an employee area. And, excuse me. And I had him a little yard set up for him back there. Okay, cool. I'm going to try to get there this morning, Debbie. I've got 3 packages and then 2 to mail. But anyway, so I had his stroller, I had his play yard, and then he literally, I was sitting in one of my rockers that I brought, and he was sitting in the chair next to me, just like watching fairgoers go by. They loved him so much. And the best thing is not everybody would just walk over and touch them or touch him. They asked me first. The people that didn't ask me first, I kind of was like, oh, and I didn't shy them away, but I kind of guided to make sure he wasn't just being pawed at, you know? Good morning, Robin. Good morning. So he was sitting, he loved it. And I made sure, like, I took him out every hour. We walked around. He doesn't like sheep. Oh, he does not like sheep. And then one of my people from my crochet club was there. And she saw a police officer walking by with his hound dog. And she goes running out. I was busy, but I just happened to hear, you've got to meet Fritz. And he was just sitting in the seat right then. Now, you guys know Fritz does not like other animals near me. So as the dog came around to the open door and Fritz saw him, I just put my hands down. I'm like, no, no, no. And the cop goes, no, no. And he goes, I get it. And I mean, she felt really bad. Good morning, Marianne. She felt really bad. Good morning, Cece. Because she didn't know. I said, remember, Fritz does not like other animals. So that was the only incident we had for the whole day. Hold on, my computer's doing weird stuff. There we go. It was the only incident for the whole day. And he was just, good morning, Melissa. And Kathy, how are you? Good morning. So it was a great day. I had a couple people call in sick. So I was legit there a lot of the day by myself. And then from 6 p.m. to night, he is small and mighty. So from like 6 p.m. to like 9:50 p.m., I was all by myself with Fritz. But it's fun to watch the different people that come in at different times of day. So in the morning, it's the older people, and then maybe even the like the ARC, where the handicap houses, they bring in everybody, and so it's a nice quiet group. Everybody's just looking at everything. And then throughout the day, maybe after lunch, why am I yawning? I am so sorry. And then like after lunch, the parents with the kiddos start to come. And then after dinner, How do I explain the crowd after dinner? Well, I'll start by saying the beer tent's open. So that's one thing. But everybody was so nice. And the fun thing is, I think, but I'm not that tired. I don't know. Maybe I just haven't. I need to learn how to breathe, right? So yeah, Karen, it was, and you could just see, but they were still very interested in the displays and stuff like that. So I did not have. No, let me retract that. I only had one person who was a jerk to Fritzy, and I let him know he was a jerk because you guys might not know this side of me. I don't tolerate, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not stupidity. It's almost like bullying. So let me tell you what happened, and then you guys give me the word. So I was walking Fritz. It was about 8:30, maybe 9 o'clock. Good morning, Angela. About them. And I walk out, and there's these two people sitting on the bench in front of my building. And the one woman didn't say anything, but the one, yeah, we're getting there, Marianne. There was a guy sitting next to her. Now he looked hammered. I mean, he was a mess. He's just sitting on the bench making stupid noises and da da da. Well, I walk by with Fritz. This man jumped up and started barking at my dog. I legit almost took him out. I hand up. I'm like, get away from my dog. So what word would you use for that? That's not a swear word. And then he just starts laughing. Oh, I'm sorry. I just thought it was funny. It's not funny. And you are many words that I'm not going to say in front of all of you. I mean, Fritz got scared. So legit, I don't. Yeah. Yeah. There you go, Art Junkie. Shannon, and it was just like, what are you thinking? But he wasn't thinking, right? I mean, Fritzy recovered quickly, but still, that's unacceptable. Unacceptable behavior, and you're a jerk. Go home. That was the only incident. What did Amber? Like, yeah, and he just, I mean, anyway, he was just an absolute moron because my little Fritz wasn't bothering anybody. He he went out to go potty and he came back in, and this guy jumped up and barked at him. So that was the only incident. But on a better note, so in the antique section, there was this guy and his wife. They were entering things for his mom, and they entered 2 pages worth of stuff. Okay, a lot of stuff. And now his mom is legally blind. Excuse me. So they were coming in to find her items so that when they brought her in, they could bring her right to them and show her her ribbons. Well, we got to talking, and they're like, we have so many, because I told them how I want to set up next year. I said, picture the Little House on the Prairie kitchen. I want something like that. I want to set up the antiques where they're in a home setting, right? Good morning, Michelle. So they're like, wow, we have so many things. They're like cabinets and you know, bookshelves and stuff like that. And I said, well, if you would like to donate something to be in my display next year, I said, yes, Marianne, exactly like that, like a 1-room cabin setting. So they looked, they said, really? I said, if you wanted to donate one item, you pick. I said, I would have a plaque made that said donated by or special thanks to, and I said to him, have your mom's name on there, and I would display it prominently so that she would always be a member or be a participant in the fair. Well, they were so excited, so excited. So they gave me their contact information and they wrote it down, wrote their name and email down. And he's like, after the fair, are you going to be here? I said, yeah, I got to clean up the building and organize and stuff. And he said, we'll bring it to you. And it was, I mean, they stood and talked to me out for at least an hour. And it was really awesome. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed myself. I thoroughly enjoyed talking to them. It was really cool. So I have their contact information, and I also, there's a fly in here. Where did that come from? I also have, I will see them on pickup day on Tuesday. So yes, please. Thank you so much, Raylene. You're my link master. If you hear yelling, I think the neighbor's visiting River Life out front. Yeah. Michelle, there was a very rude drunk person mean to Fritzy. So, so then another, this guy came in, and it was his first time entering anything in the fair ever. He was probably about 30 to 35, somewhere in there. He come in with his girlfriend, wife, and I remember them from when they submitted their, I remember the picture because they showed it to me. And he was looking in with all the photos, and I kind of saw them, but I didn't really pay attention at first. But then I realized they can't find their item. So they were looking through all the photos and everything. And yep, I am, Cece. It's not over. It's not over till Monday. I'm just going in a little late this morning. So he's looking all over, and he comes up to where I'm sitting, and he's like, I don't want to bother you. I said, you're not bothering me. I'm here to, to chat and answer questions. He's like, I can't find my picture. And he goes, the one with the mushroom, or I said to him at first, because I got a million things going on. I said to him, I said, what one was it? And he said, it was the one with the mushrooms. And I said to him, it's over in the kitchen area. And he goes over and he finds it, and he had won a blue ribbon. And he comes back to me, face all grinning, grinning, so excited. He's like, oh my goodness. He goes, I want to thank you. And I said, for what? He said, thank you for taking my picture and putting it as part of the landscape. He goes, I love the idea of having the home setting. And now you're showing people how this picture would look in their living room or in their kitchen. Or so, good morning, Sugar. How are you? So yeah, he was really excited about that and really happy that he got to be part of the landscape. So he says he's definitely coming back. Marianne got pounced. So that was cool as well. Lots and lots of people are interested in the Addy. So I have a thing set up by my demo area, and there's a circular knitting demo and a crochet demo. So at 1 o'clock, I go over, Fritz and I sitting there, and I'm using the small one, the Express, the 22 needle one. And I'm making a pair of socks. Why not? I started with light purple, and then I went to dark purple. And before I know it, I have a crowd of people around me. And they're all asking questions and this and that. And I'm telling you, I think I mentioned it before, but there had to be about, a good handful of men came in after their wives left and asked me where to get the Addy. Alexa, turn off the hot glue gun. So it was really neat that, I inspired them to get something for their wife. Sorry, I had to finish this. But it was cool. So they loved it. And then they're like, well, do you just make hats and socks? And so I showed them, I know, I know. I showed them the shawl I made. I forgot the blanket I made. I'm going to bring that today. But I'm showing them how you can make panels and sew them together. Yeah, I really should be an affiliate for them. So it was pretty neat experience there. And then the crochet, I had a lot of people come over for the crochet. Most of the stories are, or they start with, I used to do that when I was younger. I forgot how much fun it is, and I haven't done it in years. So I'd hand them a hook and, you know, one of my yarn balls or cakes. I said, come on, sit down. I'll refresh your memory. And a lot of them sat down, they did a chain, and they're like, oh, I get it. It's coming back. So good morning, Vivian. So that was neat as well. But yesterday I had an idea about the kids' craft along. So everything at the fair costs so much money, right? It's ridiculous. Like a bottle of water was $4. They're $1.25 at the convenience store. But anyway, yeah, me too. And a lot of them, Margaret, asked me where my crochet club was at the library. So hopefully we'll get a couple more people at the library. And I was requested. Excuse me, I am so sorry. I was requested to do another day. So they're like, do you only do it Tuesday? Can you come down and do another day? So I'll have to talk to the librarian about that. Now that I'm not picking up my grandson twice a week, I might be able to do another day. So we'll see. I don't want to overextend myself, but I would love to have more people in the crochet, which reminds me, I've got to get more business cards. I got to order them. So yeah, it was really cool. And then the people that are already in the crochet club, if they were standing there talking to me and someone came up, they would say, this is my teacher and she taught me this. And it's a fun experience, you guys. Yes, I'm tired. Yes, it's a lot of work. Yes, I'm hot and nasty by 10 a.m., but it's so much fun. And the people you're meeting, and by the way, everybody in the building is now being so nice. And I think it's because they're seeing the reactions of the people and they're getting the feedback, how much they love the way it's set up. And I'm not selling, no. There is a gift store in there. I didn't enter anything in there to sell. I may next year, now that I know what it's about. But I didn't know what it was, and now I do know. So maybe I'll put a couple things in there next year. Hello, Catherine. Welcome. So yeah, that was some of the. I have more. There's one. I know. I'm hoping next year, and I already asked the fair, the woman who's in charge of all entries. I already asked her to print me out a comparison of last year's entries opposed to this year's entries, and then I'll be able to compare it to next year's entries. But the kids' crafting corner was, first of all, I'm doing the coloring contest for a t-shirt, right? That reminds me, tomorrow I have to do the drawing. So I cleared off that table at 5 o'clock last night, and I put out crafts. I put out the felt and the pipe cleaners and little pom-poms and some cutout cardboards and a magazine and some bags to make gift bags, right? Did she really? That's awesome. Can you put a link to her, to Carrie's channel, please? So I can check that out. So I was sitting, it's 5 o'clock, and I was talking to one of the other ladies, and no kids were coming. And I'm like, all right, well, I've got the stuff ready just in case anyone comes. Well, the next thing you know, and I only had one picnic table set out. The next thing you know, both sides of the picnic table are loaded with kiddos. And I'm like, okay, here we go. So I had the glue sticks and I had everything. And I said to the kids, I said, good morning, Russ, how are you? I said to the kids, this is all about using your imagination. I said, we're going to create something out of this stuff that you wouldn't believe you could create. And there was this one little boy. Well, there's actually two of them, but the first one, he's kind of looking and he's sitting like this. Now he had two siblings and his mom were there. And the two siblings jumped right in. They're digging through all this stuff. And I'm going to make this and I want that and da 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 da. And so this kid's, he's sitting there and I said, what's going on? Well, I'm not creative at all. I said, well, let's think about it. So I took a cardboard, a little piece of cardboard, and I grabbed a bunch of little teeny white pom-poms that I had. And I said, well, I said, it's so hot in here. I said, let's think of a cooler day. And he goes, what do you mean? I said, well, and I held up the bag of white pom-poms and I said, does this remind you of snow or snowflakes or a snowstorm? And he goes, yeah, a snowstorm. I said, well, why don't you make me a snowstorm? And he looks, I handed him the cardboard and I said, and I took a handful of the little teeny white ones and I sprinkled them on the cardboard and his face lit up. And he goes, that's what it looks like when I look up during a snowstorm. I said, exactly. I said, that's what I want you to put on this cardboard. And his face lit up and his mom looked at me. She goes, he never crafts or colors or anything. And he was head down, glue stick, da 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 da. So it was really, it was a great experience for everybody. You know, every adult around was just like, that's so cool. So he's making his little snowstorm. Now, I'm noticing there's this little boy sitting on a bench. You know what he looked like? What's wrong with Kathy? Hold on. Oh, yes. I know you did, Kathy, and I'm sorry, and I hope you did text me this morning, so you're better this morning. Oh, that's perfect. Thank you, Michelle. So this other little boy, he reminded me of the little boy. What is that? A Christmas Story? He wanted the BB gun. He's the main character. Well, this little guy reminded me of him. And the funny thing is, his name is Al. This little boy's name is Al. So of course he's in my heart right then, right? So Al's sitting on the bench and he's watching all the kids at the picnic table. And I looked at him. I said, do you want to come over? No, thank you. Okay. Well, he's inching. I'm standing there and he's inching closer and closer to me. So finally, I picked up something. I can't remember what I picked up. Pipe cleaners. Okay. Well, you be careful. Stay out of the heat. So I picked up pipe cleaners and I'm just playing with him. And he looks at me. He's like, can you make a horse? And that was it. I had him at that point. I said, well, come on over here and sit down. Let's make a horse. So I did one long one and then two bent ones for the legs. I mean, it's super simple. It was like a stick horse. And then I bent the head shape and I bent the tail and I stood it up and he duplicated it. And he was so excited. I really like horses. And we went through the horse barn and da 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 da. And it was really cool. So then I had one girl and all the rest were boys. Isn't that funny? So I was doing it for an hour. So it was just about 6 o'clock. And this man walks through with his two boys. I would say the first boy was maybe 12 and the other boy was maybe 9. Different. So the 9-year-old was into it. Boom, right away. He's like, what's going on? What can I do? Right. So, well, I'm trying to get them. The whole idea, Amber, of that whole thing was to show them you can make something really cool and enter it in the fair. It's that simple. Because all these kids are thinking it's got to be this elaborate thing. And they're looking at the quilts on the wall and this and that. And I'm like, no, look at the kids section. Look at what they've entered. So I tried to show them, you can take this that we just made right now, and you can enter it in the fair next year. So the younger brother sits down and he's like, he takes another piece of cardboard because I had made a picture just to show them, you know, how to use the felt and this and that. So he starts lining up the snowballs. I said, what are you making? He goes, well, I saw that other boy's snowstorm. He goes, but I want to make a car driving on the road after it's already been plowed. So he made the snowbank along the side. He made a car, and I should have taken pictures of all these things because they were so cool. He made a car. He put a person in the car driving. So his brother comes over and he says to him, what are you making, stupid? And I was like, but I get it. It's brothers, whatever, you know. And I popped right in. I said, he is making the coolest car in a snowstorm. And the little one starts explaining, here's the car, da, da, da. Well, this one here, still skeptical, the older brother. Well, I don't have any interest in any of that. I said, you don't? Well, all right. I said, huh. So what are you interested in? Well, I don't want to enter something just for a ribbon. I said, well, it's not just a ribbon. And he looks. I said, you get prize money. For each ribbon that you win, you get prize money. Well, he goes, how much? I said, well, you wouldn't be able to retire on it, but I said, you could probably buy a video game. Well, I had him at that point. He goes, just a minute, let me look. So he gets up and he goes looking around at all the kids' entries. And then he gets to the part where it's just simple stuff. It's like, it was actually a birdhouse or this or that, but simple stuff. And he comes back and sits down. He goes, so let me get this right. He goes, for everything I enter, if I win a ribbon, I would get money. I said, absolutely. So we're crafting this and that, and time goes on. And they leave. And then all of a sudden, the older one comes back. He goes, just one more question. I said, what do you got? He says, I see that there's costumes down there. Can I enter a costume? I said, absolutely, you can enter a costume. I said, yeah. Yeah. So he goes, what kind of costumes? I said, any costume you like. I said, and you can make it out of paper. I said, you could make it out of cloth, whatever you like. I said, that section's all costumes. Well, I really like that idea, he says. I'll see you next year, and he leaves. So at first it was something I wasn't sure I wanted to do because I was tired. Let me be completely honest with you guys. By 5 o'clock, I had been there 10 hours. I was tired. But as soon as those kids started reacting, I kicked right in and I was into it too. And the parents were so thankful. The kids, as soon as they saw how easy it was and how great things come out, this one little girl, I had a pink gift bag and I had a Birds in Bloom magazine. And she's like, what can I do with this? I said, what can you do with this? I said, why don't we make a beautiful gift bag? And I didn't put any scissors on the table because I didn't have any kid scissors. So I didn't want, she's like, well, there's no scissors. I don't know what to do. I said, when you do decoupage, you rip them. I said, so that it looks like you ripped out the picture and put it on. Well, she covered that bag with beautiful bird pictures. And I'm going to use it for my mom for her birthday. She put some of the little pom-poms on it, and both sides. It was fun. So I'm going to do it each day the rest of the week. I have enough crafts to do it. I need more cardboard paper. Note to self. So yeah, it was a really fun time. This little boy, I had a paper towel holder, the cardboard part that goes in the middle. He's like, what would I do with this? And I look, I'm like, what about making a tree? Well, how would I make a tree? So I took the big green pom-poms and I held them up on the end of it. I said, kind of like this. Well, that's all it took. So then he goes in, I had felt pieces, right? He goes in the felt pieces and he found little cutout of leaves, like the fall leaves. So the green was on the top and the fall colored leaves were on the bottom. And he's carrying that out of the building, so happy. So I hope, I get it, it's new right now and it's still a year, but I hope that I've inspired them to remember, hey, next year you can do this, you know? I tried to email myself. I made up a one sheet, kind of like a flyer or a poster of how you can enter the fair, and I want my boss to print it out for me. I do. I do. You know, and I'm too old to do it now, but I would love to go back and be an elementary school teacher. I think that would be so awesome. Had I known how much I love it and how much I love the kids and how great it is, that would absolutely have been the way I went. But I'm too old now. So that's, I just, why? How long does it take to send something? Come on already. Sorry, I'm trying to send myself that flyer to have her print and it won't come through. But anyway, yeah, I do miss the teaching. I mean, I did it for 3 days, but still I loved it and I would love to make that a thing. So yeah, it's been a whirlwind. That's awesome. Thank you. That's my goal. I'm going to spy on my siblings and see if they're still at the farm. So they're picking up tables for me today and bringing them. They're bringing them to, oh, they're there now. Al's not there yet. They're bringing the tables to me at the fair. So here's what's going to happen. The women that have been doing this for a while, well, now on pickup day, you should go through on Monday and you should group together all the names that you see are the same. And I'm like, starting to build a concept. So I'm like, here's what I'm going to do. I know, and I try. A lot of them aren't getting back to me yet, but I am trying to volunteer. So I'm setting up alphabetical tables, okay? Yeah, Monique, it was, especially that one little boy. I'm not creative at all, and then he made me a snowstorm. But anyway, so I'm setting up the tables and I'm going to do them alphabetical. So I went through my entry book last night to see how many tables I'd need. Like for B, for the last name that begin with B, I'm going to need 4 tables, stuff like that. But I went through and I figured out how many tables I needed, and I'm going to line them up alphabetically. And then that way I will know where to go, at least the table, right? They'll be like, my name is Smith. I said, okay, the S table is over here. Let's go over there and get your stuff. So that's how Tuesday's going to go. So Lynn and Steve and Al and Renee are bringing me the tables today. I'm going to leave them in my car or in somewhere at the fair until I can get them in Monday night. So we're still open till 10 o'clock Monday night. I'm thinking at about 6 o'clock, I'm going to start setting up to hand them out, which reminds me, I got to see what time pickup starts on Tuesday. Let's just take a look-see here. Can you guys still see me, I hope? Well, I don't know because I can't see the... All right, so that's that. Scattercoke 2024. Let me just see. Entry deadline. Yep. I got that. Let's go to page 38. And see when pickup time is. What page am I on? 15. Oh, all right, let's see. So if I can go ahead, here we go. Page, okay, here we go. Dismissal. Come on, dismissal. Boy, it started over. All right, let's go to page 38. 22. So I've already made some changes in the book for next year. Dismissal, Monday 9 to 2 and Tuesday 9 to noon. Okay. Well, that's for chickens, but at least I get the idea. What page am I on? Dismissal. All right, so Tuesday at 9 a.m. is when dismissal actually starts for everybody but the chickens. I don't need my... Stop it, Raylene. I can't... Stop it. My eyes are weird. Like, I can't see... I can see that there's writing on the screen here, but all I have to do is this, and I can see perfectly. If I put my glasses on, it messes me up. By the way, I'm just looking. I have 26 people and only 15 thumbs. If you guys could click your thummies, that would be great. So yeah, Monday or Tuesday at 9 a.m. starts the pickup. So we shall see. But I've already got some rules that I'm changing for next year. Now that I know the process, now that I know what I'm going through, when it comes to people turning in things next year, I absolutely will not accept a picture or a photograph that does not have wire on the back. Second, you must have your entry slips. They get little cards. You must have your entry card securely attached to your entry. That's not going to be my job because, hold on, hold that thought, Raylene. So your entry card or tag must be attached. That's your job. Hold on, sorry, the guy's making me something for my brother and I have to answer him. Just like the... So that's another thing. I am not going to attach the tags because when we're attaching them, they're falling off. I want it to be their job. You want it? Perfect. So that's going to be that. Now, so then let's talk Legos. I'm going to sneeze. Thank you. Oh my goodness, excuse me. So let's talk Legos. Legos need to be on something. I don't care if it's cardboard. I don't care if you put it on a cookie sheet. Look, my eye is twitching now because I sneezed. Thank you all. Let's talk Legos. I want... Bless you. I see you're still at the farm, Lynn. I'm stalking you. Yeah, so Legos need to be attached to a platform. Don't send me 15 little Lego people that I have to work. If you bring them in a box, make it a box that the sides can fold down and that's your display. Thank you. That's the thing with the Legos. Plus, I'm considering, and I'm going to have to ask other Lego people to attach them. I don't know if the kids are going to want to glue them to... I don't know. I'm not a Lego kit creator person, but I would like a dab, just a dab of super glue on that to hold it together. It will not affect the outcome of it at all because... So you got two Legos, you put one drop and put them together and they should stick together, right? No, not just the bottom row, Raylene, because I had a castle fall on my head and I can't put it back together because the towers are this tall and I don't have the directions. I don't know how to put that thing back together. So no, I want the whole thing securely attached. I don't know how they're going to do it. I'm going to do some research. I'll ask some of the Lego people when they come and pick it up. That's a great idea. I'll ask some of them because it's got to be a thing. Now, what else? Rocks. Oh, perfect. I don't think the glue stick would work, but if they have putty to do that, all right. Maybe they have it special. Of course they have it specially. They have stuff for puzzles. Why wouldn't they have stuff for Legos? All right. So let's talk about the section where people are painting rocks. I want the rock in something. And by in something, oh, Al just got to the farm. By in something, it could be something as easy as this. In something. I want the rock, because there's a painted rock, and I had two of them. I want the rock in something. Because it's very hard, one, to attach a thing to a rock, and two, to display it. So I think I want the rocks in something. So I'm going to add that to it. Sorry, I'm stalking my siblings. So those are some of the changes I'm going to make. Now for judging. Lori gave me some great feedback from her judging the pictures, because they had to judge the kids' pictures as well. So we need to make sure it's got to be set up more user-friendly for the judges, because she said it took her 20 minutes to find one of them. Blue tech, all right. Well, there you go. So what I'm going to do next year, I'm going to have a little table set up next to me, and I'm going to have examples of the changes I've made. I'm going to show the back of a picture frame with the wire on it and say, this is the correct way. I'm going to show the back of a picture frame with just one of those little jigga-jagga things. No, there's not one on there. You know what I mean, the little jigga-jagga things. So I'm going to show this is the wrong way, this is the right way. And with the rocks, I'm going to say this is the wrong way, this is the right way. I'm also going to show them, that's a great, they have a putty that'll do that so it won't damage the Lego. The zigzag, yeah, you know what I mean. Well, the thing is, Amber, I'm going to have the items there for them to correct it. So I'm going to have a row or a thing of wire, so that if there's not wire on the back of that, guess what? And maybe I'll find a way to make those things, that the little tripods that they can stand them up on. So that's another thing. What is he doing? Sorry, I'm still stalking now. Oh, a sign. So I'm going to have examples of the wrong and the right way. And then I'm also going to have items to help them make it the right way. With how many times I go to Goodwill and all the stuff that's there, yeah, that's a great idea. That is a great idea. Show me how to make those, because that would be perfect. If I could make them out of popsicle sticks or something. So I would appreciate any input that I can have on any of that. Just so that I, instead of, there's Renee's new car. Sorry, still stalking my siblings. I'm going to turn that off now. I don't, yes, a plate stand would work absolutely. Yes. So like I said, anything like that, a plate stand would be perfect. And I'm going to keep my eyes open. I'm not just going to say, well, you can't enter this if you don't have it. I'm going to say, you know, here's what I'd like you to look like. And I'm hoping to have some of the ideas by Tuesday, so that when they come to pick up their stuff, I'm going to say, next year, this is what it needs to look like. So I think I'm not just going to be the jerk that changes everything. Yeah. And the two rocks that I have are entered are the flat rocks. So anyway, I'm not just changing things for the sake of changing them. I'm changing them for the sake of making life easier for myself and my volunteers. And it'll be a prettier display if it's easier to hang things up. Lori had a hard time hanging up all those pictures. And she said it would be easier if they all had the wire. And I'm like, absolutely. So from now on, anything that is picture or poster or whatever related. I mean, I had a couple of them just hand me pieces of construction paper. Well, what am I going to do with that? Put it on, at least put it on cardboard and stand it up. Right? So I'm going to have to check out what that is. Monique, let me see here. Hold on. See if I can open it in another link. There we go. Open it in a new tab. Perfect. $12 for 40 of them. Yes, please. Thank you very much. Yeah. And stuff like that I can buy and turn in an expense. So they'll pay me back. I mean, I can't go crazy, but they should pay me back. So those are all my thoughts. That's my process. This is this is what I wake up in the middle of the night thinking of. So, and even if they glued the rock to this, whatever would work. I just don't need a rock set on my desk and be like, here, what am I doing with that? You know, I'm going to have them also focus on presentation. Not only did you make a beautiful item, present it beautifully. And that way, maybe I'll have presentation count, you know. Well, perhaps I have, Amber. Look, she's got earrings. So this is a little, what is, so here's how this happened, okay? She's got glue on her because I was just putzing around, but here's how this happened. It was supposed to be a dog. That's why the legs are like this. Supposed to be a puppy. I had trouble with the nose. So she turned out to be Penelope the pig with her little earrings that match the diamond on her hat. I got to glue her head better. Okay. So this is Penelope, people. So yeah, she's getting added to the collection. And don't forget, remember we made this turkey a while back. I put her little hair on there. So yeah, this was this morning. I was just doing the flowers when we came on. Went through and found my own stuff, and the list was checked at the door. Kathy, my turkey needs feet. I know my turkey needs feet. I know. I'm on it. But he is cute, right? I actually hot glued him this morning. Yellow feet, right? Yellow feet. I know some turkeys have white feet, but I want yellow feet. Ooh. What about orange feet? Ooh. Hold up. Wait a minute. Come on, give me a break, Robin. I can only go so fast. I was legit at the fair for how many hours yesterday? 15 hours? No, I didn't. I'm not inspired for a Santa yet. I gotta get inspired for a Santa. Hold on here. All right, let me see here. Oh yeah, Alexa, turn on the hot glue gun. We got this. We got feet. Does he need a waddle? No, he doesn't need a waddle. Yeah, well, this one's getting orange feet. He's my turkey. He's a crazy turkey. He's getting orange feet. I got to cut off a random cord. Come out of here. Take that off and take this off. There we go. Maybe next week when life calms down a bit, we'll make a Santa together. I do have red felt, which could come in handy for the Santa. Stay tuned. You never know. Where did my hot glue gun go? Oh, I dropped it. Oh my goodness. You guys, I have been literally getting dressed from the dryer this week. Like I threw in the laundry and I threw it and I have no time to do anything. So I go to the dryer and get dressed and it's still fun. I will be able to do everything I can't do now once the fair is over. Next year, I do have to find more volunteers, though, because I don't like closing the fair. I don't like being there at night. So I would like to find somebody to do the 7 to 10 shift each night. I mean, the one woman that is volunteering now, she's there because she's staying. She has her, yeah, she has her camper there. So she's like, I just lock the doors and walk across, but she can't do it every night. So I need to find somebody for next year. Well, they're not freshly dried. They've been in there a day. Because I literally had enough energy to walk in, throw it in the washer, then I had to stand up and throw it in the dryer, and that's where they're sitting. That's it. It actually takes all my energy just to make my bed. I know, poor me, right? Whatever. I'm not being that pitiful, but just saying it's. And the thing is, I've been home at like 6:30, 7 o'clock the other evenings, but right. But I'm just so tired by the time I get here. I don't want to do laundry. I did sweep the floor. It's just don't sit down. That's all. I'm not bringing Fritz today because my family's coming and I want to be able to walk around with them. So I'm not bringing Fritzy today. I'm going to have River Life take him out a few times. That way he's not, he's not holding potty until I get home, which is terrible. But is this heating up? Yes, it is. Come on. Oop, there's one. Here's two. All right, I'm about to attach the feet, you guys. Here come the feet. Do you guys remember that? Here come the putt-putts. All right, what do you think? There's his little feet. I know. I'll need a vacation. There we go. There's his feet. He's all set. I'll add him to my collection. So maybe this is my form of amigurumi. What can I call it? Keikagurumi? Keikagurumi? I don't know. But this is my version of it. There you go. I'll put him with the pig. Keikagurumi. There you go. My Keikagurumi collection. So there we go. All right, Alexa, turn off the hot glue gun. Yarn Keikagurumi. Yarn Keikagurumi. I'll start a thing. I will, as soon as I can, as soon as my life slows down a bit. Right. All right. Yarn cake amigurumi. That's exactly what I'll call it. I'm going to do a whole playlist of them. And the more I make, the better I'll get, right? That's just how it goes. Yeah. You can't do safety eyes because you can't get behind them, so you have to glue the eyes on. Just found this. I can cover that and use it for a hat. So I am in the process. I think I told you guys my brother wants... You're donating blood. Oh, my goodness. Well, how sweet is that? My brother has commissioned me to make him a little miniature Grinch. So I actually went on Etsy and I bought the pattern. So I'm 10 rows into that. This was my first attempt. I think I told you guys he was coming out too big. In my defense, it was in Spanish. I don't speak Spanish. So I was trying to translate, and hence the hat for Miss Piggy. I'm sorry, Penelope. So, all right, what do we got for time? We got 53 minutes, you guys. I'm going to go ahead and start getting out of here because I've got to make sure I've got everything I need for today. I've got everything together, and got to wrap my head around the whole world. So I appreciate you guys. I love that you sit here and hang out with me. Saturday should be busy, so hopefully I'll have some really fun stories for you tomorrow. And I'm going to take some pictures of what the kids make if I have kids at the craft thing today. So that'll be fun. All right, you guys, have a great day. I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here. And remember, everybody, always be happy, be kind, and be creative. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye, guys.